everyone! Today we are going to introduce two documentaries. And firstly, I'm going to introduce The Man on Wire.
Can you briefly explain the background of the story?
Man on Wire is a 2008 documentary film directed by James Marsh. The film chronicles Philip's 1974 high-wire walk between the Twin Towers of New York's World Trade Center.
It seems like the film is crafted like a heist film, presenting rare footage of the preparations for the event and still photographs of the walk.
Yes, the presentation of the film is very special. I was impressed at the beginning of the film because I thought I had clicked on a crime movie instead of a documentary. All I said is the male lead and his buddies are crazy, but they're amazing. Their way of filming is also very special, starting with the plot to infiltrate the criminal process for walking the tightrope, and the process even present in a black-white scene. The film method of the film is to interview the real protagonist and his friends, interspersed with some descriptive screen performance. Even after so many years, they are excited to recall these facts. They are a really strong team. Everyone's role is very different.
How can you say that, Bella?
His girlfriend acts like a spiritual counselor, while the other men are responsible for the topographic survey and the theoretical construction of the building. And that guy really is a genius in architecture.
Why do they need an expert in architecture?
It's because the support point of the wire rope will affect the furnace, which is related to the safety of Philip.
Don't they have any argument?
Yes, they have been very worried about the safety of the Philip many times, and even they want to quit the team and not help Philip to achieve the plan. Their plan is really crazy and dangerous. Not even the first time. The first time they sneak into the roof of Notre Dame of the Paris when the hero managed to walk the tightrope. His girlfriend even proudly yelled to the whole church. There were people walking on the roof.
Oh, I even saw helicopters in the sky.
Yes, their friends rented a helicopter and recorded the feat.
Philip's obsession with dreams made me wonder how on earth he fell in love with tightrope walking.
It all started when he flipped through a magazine when he was a child at the dentist and saw the construction of a building started. After walking through Notre Dame, he couldn't satisfy his desire at all, so his second project was about to start. This is also one of his most famous deeds, walking through the Twin Towers in the United States.
American Gemini is 451 meters tall.
Yes, because it's too dangerous. His team also made a set of Gemini models. They pay great attention to the angle of the rope. What impresses me is that their plan didn't work out the first time, so they flew to America several times. Because before he could accomplish this feat, he stepped up and they would make their own ropes outdoors. They shoot arrows and shoot the fishing line. Even before the plan, the protagonist repeatedly watched crime movies to strengthen his psychological construction.
I think they must have encountered a lot of trouble in the process of infiltrating the Twin Towers.
They chose not to take the elevator to avoid people's eyes, so they climbed 101 floors with equipment.
Oh, I even saw them almost get caught by the guards during the course of the film.
Fortunately, the cast office is enough big so they could hide, but they also hid for 3 hours.
It was already early morning when I saw Philip walking on the tightrope.
Even though it was a bit windy that day, Phillips managed to pull off the feat, but in the end his friends left him because he cheated on them and sentenced his girlfriend to go out on dates with other women.
I have to say that Philip's achievements are admirable, but his personality, is also quite bad.
I agree. It's your turn to introduce your documentary.
Okay, the documentary I would like to introduce called Operation Varsity Blues, the college admission scandal.
I want to know more about the movie.
Okay, but first of all, I have to introduce the director, Chris Smith. He is known for Fire and Jane and Andy. Both of them are documentary and are well received on the internet, so the director can be said to be the flower of making documentaries.
I see, and how does the plot work?
I have divided the plot into several parts to discuss,
Ahem.
and I'm going to start with a brief introduction. This documentary is released as 2021, investigates the mastermind behind a fraudulent affair, and learns more about how Mr. Singer used his psychics to stain the children of rich and famous families to America's top university by way of scene recreating.
Wow, it sounds like the connection involved are very complicated.
Yes, exactly. Let's go on. The beginning is some students are waiting for the result that if they have the admission to go to the university they like. And when I saw this scene, I feel like traveling to the past that I prepare for the admission materials and the interviews. Hey Bella,
What's up?
do you remember that time?
Of course, how can I forget? It was a really hard time. During that time, I feel like I almost passed away.
Absolutely, I feel you, Bella. It's not exaggerated. I cry my eyes out almost every day during that time.
Sad.
Let's continue. The case involved corporate fraud, security fraud, and bribery. Mr. Singer is the culprit. He was originally an independent college counselor, and his job was to assist students to apply for university. He passed the side door to make special arrangements to allow the children of the rich to enter to the top universities, while the parents needed to donate 10 times the amount to his foundation to hide the fact that the bribes flow.
Hey, let's cheating. Let's not fear.
Definitely, it's totally not fair. When I saw this thing, I feel the same. When we study hard and prepare materials for further education, some children from rich families, maybe they were just basically playing. How could they go to the top universities? And there is a thought-provoking sentence in the movie. It says education has become a commodity, and its emphasis is not on education, but on status and showing off.
That's just what I was thinking. In this movie, higher education has completely become a commodity and has lost its previous meaning.
Well, and you know what? When they abuse their power and financial resources, they also have uneasy consciences, afraid that their children will not accept the facts.
Wow, they still thought their conscience would really bother them if they did this.
Funny, huh?
Yeah.
And when those parents question like this, Mr. Singer say he would use words to deceive children.
Although they say so, but I still think those children are not completely innocent. I think they are vaguely aware of the truth. What they usually do and how their grades are, they should have a clue in the bottom of their hearts.
Maybe. Who knows? In the absence of direct evidence, these are all speculations. Bella, Wei Yan went across my mind. Mr. Singer was originally a no and from a humble beginning. However, he slowly entered the upper class social circle. It's a bit like Wei Yan in Rui's Royal Love in the Palace.
That's right.
I think if he had put his ingenuity in other areas, he would have made a career instead of being a criminal. And let's go on.
Okay, wait. How effectuate these things?
I was just about to talk about this part. The loophole Mr. Singer exploited is that both the sports department and the admissions department trust the coach's words to determine the student's ability level. The foundation of higher education is almost all mutual trust. And is there any risk in doing so? It has been fine for 24 years.
24 years is a long time. Wait, we all know that places are limited. So does this mean that countless students have been victimized?
Exactly. And how this case come to light? Mr. Singer did not commit any fatal mistake to reveal his identity. If someone commits a related security crime, then someone named Singer in order to not to go to jail. Later, the authorities also gave the opportunity to deal with it leniently, and Mr. Singer he also betrayed parents. So the case was exposed.
They end up with infighting. Then everyone was caught. Wait a second. You said the authorities gave the opportunity to deal with it lightly, right?
Yeah, and
So what happened to Singer in the end?
he faced up to 65 years in prison and about 125 million American dollars fine.
I see.
This is just to remind our audience.
I'm Bella.
And I'm Charlotte, two students in Taiwan's National Ilan University. We are your hosts for this episode.